what does the school think of our surfing? Um, I don't think the surf culture would be around if the school wasn't supportive of it. I think sometimes health and safety can get in the way, so they're a bit wary of what goes on down at the seafront, knowing that there's rocks and there's sometimes gale force winds that can drift us all the way to England. But I don't know. I'm really thankful that the school is sort of backing us in the sense that we have full access to the boat building shack whenever we need to repair our boards. Sometimes they'll give us boards to use on different trips, so we're keeping our surfing soul fed, let's say. And the school's more or less behind us. I know there are tons of staff members that surf, and if it wasn't for health and safety, I think they would be out there every day with us. So other than that, it's definitely a good culture at school. I think we've sort of had to get creative with whatever we can get our hands on. With the boat building shack at school, if we damage our boards, or rather when we damage our boards, we just go in there and put some resin on, sand some things, and find that in a couple days it's back up rearing to go. So luckily we have that asset to us, but due to our remoteness in the middle of Wales, we have to wait a good month to get fins or wax or whatever, just because we have to order it all online. But luckily the surf culture has sort of increased a bit over the past couple of years, and more people are becoming interested, so they're buying more things, and we're having more boards to choose from. Or instead of riding one fin or two fins, we're actually have 3 fins on our board now, which is quite a concept because that didn't happen for a while.
The waves are definitely bigger when you're in the ocean. When you're in there, it should be scarier than it actually is. You never know how much rock is underneath you. You never know how much water is between you and the rocks. And when you're 2 meters tall, standing on top of a wave that you're about to drop into, that is also 2 meters tall, from your head to the floor, that's 4 meters, and that's very high. So the waves can seem more dangerous than they are. The best experience I've had in the ocean was one of the days when the waves were finally more of a ramp than just an extremely steep vertical face of water, and things like party waves and cuts and such finally became very possible, and so Rue and I had lots of fun seshing that day. The worst experience is a combination of experiences. I just hate the feeling of when you go over the falls and then you're thrown into the washing machine, and the feeling of disorientation, not knowing where the oxygen is probably the worst feeling. The surf culture has changed. Last year we were just pushing our abilities and trying to get better and better, and we were one of the few that were doing that, and this year there are loads of youngsters trying to get in on the banter. This year there's much more interest from fellow students, and there's much more eagerness when it comes to getting out in the ocean and getting better at surfing.
Motivation to surf. I think the motivation to surf is that once we get out past the waves into the outback, it's the most peaceful place on campus in my opinion, and it's my biggest stress reliever, whether I'm getting battered by the waves or just sitting in the outback. It's just a pretty zen place. I really enjoy longboards and 2 to 3 foot waves that just go forever and ever, and I think that's one of the most fun things. It means party waves, and party waves mean fun. I think the surfing has changed, as in, well, we've all progressed. I used to not be able to surf. Rue and Thomas are amazing at surfing now. Last year there was only 3-4 of us who used to surf, and we used to use the houseboard, which was, I don't even know what that thing is. And now we've got loads of surfboards and loads of people that like to go out, and it's just a lot of fun, a big group of us. I'd have to say my best experience in the ocean was one day me, Rue, and Mish went out one day, and the waves were breaking off the slipway, and they were coming from, 20 meters out, and we took the school boards and you could catch them the whole way in, all the way to the slipway, and I think it's probably the longest wave I've caught at AC, and the best wave. Worst experience? Again, I don't think I have one worst experience, but I just hated when we walk all the way to the right to try and find waves, and there's just nothing there. That is one of the saddest things I think I've had. We get beaten up a lot by the waves here because, they break into like 30 centimeters less of water onto rock or that cold sea coral or whatever it is. So we've had a few bumps and scratches. For example, last week Rue got cut through his wetsuit. That was pretty gnarly.